Airport Cash Towers, also at East Legon Boundary Road. And thank you to Aqua Safari. That's what we are visiting for our couples retreat this year. Thank you also to South African Airways. They'll be right here on the iMdrive. This month of August for Love Unscripted, the couple next door. This is the first time we're trying this in August. We usually would have counselors passing through, but I said, hey, this year, why don't we hear from the everyday couples here, what they're doing, the decisions they're making daily, so they can grow in their marriage, they can thrive together. So the question we're going to be asking our couples today, we have Pastor Mike, Pastor Joella here. We're going to be asking them what it takes to choose love, friendship, and commitment every single day. It's going to be a candid conversation. Now, these two are already candid people, so you trust they're going to get nothing less than that. So they're going to be sharing their marriage journey with us, communication, faith, choosing each other every day. And we're live on Facebook. You really should catch them. And I love their matching outfits. Sometimes I just go on Instagram to watch them, do their matching things and change their clothes. You can watch us right now on Facebook. Also, we're live on our website, sunnygh.com, on Sunny TV. And you can join in the conversation. You have a question for them. These people are lovely. They are lovely, Keke. They'll respond to you. 0540 130 684. 0540 130-684. Good morning, Pastor Mike, Pastor Joella.
Hey.
Great to have you in the studio. I'm well. Oh, you all should come see the matching outfits already. But it's great to have you in the studio. How did you feel when we reached out and said, can you join us, share your journey with us?
Oh, it's always a privilege to come to Sunny FM, and you all have taken us as family. So
yeah, you're family.
We appreciate it, and it also spurs us on with this vision that God has given us to keep on teaching and sharing our experiences with the singles and with the married. It's really important to us, and it continues to encourage us that we are in God's will.
Yeah.
that we are doing what He wants us to do. When others like yourselves recognize what it is that God has placed on our hearts,
Yeah.
so we're always
You're always
appreciative.
thrilled to come here.
Yeah.
And you mentioned vision, so we'll get into your assignment because clearly you two are on assignment. Let's hear from Pastor Mike.
Yeah, just to add that Sunny FM was the first radio station that I listened to when I came to Ghana. That was 20 years ago.
Wow.
I was coming
We're
from the
old.
Yeah, all of us. We just all look young by the grace of God. Yeah, so I came from the UK and I'd never encountered a Christian station before.
Wow.
I'd given my life to the Lord about a year before I came to Ghana.
Yeah.
So it was such a breath of fresh air to be able to just listen to all this Christian content constantly on
Yeah.
Sunny FM.
Wow.
And in those days, I think Kojo was in the
Kojo was on
yeah,
the morning
Kojo was
show.
in the morning. So
Yeah.
and there was a few times I came to Sunny FM as well
Yeah.
to get songs
Oh.
as MP3.
Oh.
So I'm old school. I'm an old school supporter of Sunny FM.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is always great to have people like you and who've been with us from like the long haul. And we also appreciate you so much because you've become the people we can call on when we want to encourage our young ones, want to encourage couples. I was telling Pastor Joella the other day that my pastor shared your content on our couples page, and my pastor doesn't just
Wow.
share anything. So I said, Pastor Joella, my pastor just shared. My pastor just shared.
Oh, that's lovely.
Exactly.
That's lovely.
So we're going to do something really cool before we get into like our conversation this morning. I thought these would be the loveliest people to play a game with, and so we're going to be asking a few questions. Okay, you can join us live on Facebook, and when I ask, their responsibility will be to point to the person who does that. Okay,
Right.
who that person responsible for that. Now, for some of you who will not be able to watch, I'll just let you know who chose who.
All right.
If they chose each other, we'll see how we'll work on that.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
We're ready.
Yep.
All right. So, Pastor Joella, please get much closer and
Okay.
project from me to the.
All right.
Yes,
Is this
project from.
better?
This is much better.
All
If
right.
it can get a little closer to you, you can still push a little forward,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, that's
much
it. All
much
right.
better. I think we're good to go. So, are you ready?
We are
I
ready.
feel like a quiz master right now. So, who takes longer to get ready? Okay, this one, Pastor Joella. Okay,
Yep.
Who made the first move?
Me.
It was you.
Yeah.
You almost forgot to tell me.
I always forgot.
Oh, it definitely wasn't me.
It definitely
me.
wasn't you. Who's more romantic? You know,
I would say me.
it's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It's you,
Yes,
Pastor
yeah.
Mike, Mr. Romantic. Who's likely to apologize first when it's pretty heated and tense?
Michael is.
Yeah.
Pastor Mike.
Yeah. I admit I can be stubborn. So yes.
Because my next question was going to be, who's more stubborn?
That's me. So
Definitely. Definitely.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
It is you. Who
Yeah.
spends more money?
Me.
It is
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
you. Uh-huh. And who's more likely to say, we need to talk, babes?
Me.
It's
Michael, yeah. Yeah.
Usually they say it's the women who give the
No,
men like we
our
need to
dynamic
talk.
is
Yeah.
very different from the world standard
Yeah.
expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, I can not talk to you for years to come. I'm not interested in that. So, but I
Wow.
wasn't. I've changed. I now
you're changing
initiate
still.
yes the conversations. But if there's an issue and you're not going to talk, I can drag it for years. Unfortunately, I used to be like that.
She had that special gift.
So he's the one who always says we need to talk. Yeah.
And let me get to a few more I have here. Who's the tidiest? Who's the...
I would say me.
It is you, okay.
I'm winning here.
Yeah. Looks like you're in a comfortable lead. And, who's the better cook? I'm curious about
Oh,
this one.
definitely.
It's her.
Yeah.
I've seen the cakes she's been making. and
Yeah.
all. I'm
Oh,
yet to
thank
taste
you.
one though.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm yet
Oh, I
to
have to
taste
bring
one.
you one.
Please,
I
you
have to
have
bring
to.
a cake.
You have to. I'd like to share with a few people. And who's likely to give the children a long talk when they've been a little naughty? A long talk. 30
I think
minutes,
that's
1 hour.
both of us.
Yeah.
It's the
That is
both
That's
of
a
you.
draw.
Is it?
Yeah. it's both
With
of
6
us.
boys, it happens that we both have to have
You-
long
you-
talks
Yeah.
together and separately.
6 boys. And we'll get into that too. I think finally I'd like to ask, what is that one thing that Pastor Mike does that just melts your heart? Yeah.
I would say it's the way he serves. The way he serves me. I think people don't realize that in marriage, a husband can also be very serving. And when we talk about marriage, we think about the wife with a tray, the wife setting a table for the husband, the wife making the house warm for her husband. But there's been countless, I can't count how many times I have come home to a tidied home, or to a plate, well arranged plate, or just after a hectic day, he'll just come and say, I made you a cup of tea. And it's just, I can't put it into words sometimes how it makes me feel loved and appreciated and cared for and thought about.
Wow.
I love that about
you.
you.
Just love that. Pastor Mike, what about you?
It's more than one. I'll be quick.
Okay.
But, my wife has a lovely smile,
Oh.
and I just feel that it lights up the room. It's something that attracted me right at the beginning, and I will say that Joella is a joy giver. I just feel this joy that flows through her, and the way she serves me, I feel like I'm a VIP,
Wow.
even though we've been married for so long.
How many years now?
This year, November, is 19.
Yeah.
19.
So
You look like you married like 2 years ago. Looking so young.
19 years.
Yeah.
So the way she serves me, the other day she was putting my plate together after church, and just watching her place the food in a certain way, and I realized that she's really been intentional about the food placement, and it just made me feel all like, wow, she really loves me.
She
Just
really
even
does.
like the way she's placing the food was really beautiful to watch. And I didn't used to acknowledge these things earlier in our marriage, but as I've matured, I learned to look at these things and really see the love in it. So
Wow.
thank you.
This is Sunny 88.7 FM with Pastor Mike, Pastor Joella with us in the studio on The Couple Next Door. And you are a part of this conversation. You can drop a comment. You have a question, 0540-130-684. 0540-130-684. 19 years married. And anytime I visit your page, I can sense you two are on an assignment. Tell me more about that. How it all begun.
So, our assignment, we can see now and have taken it on, like worn the mantle to run with it. And it is simply to show that marriage is and can be beautiful. It is beautiful. It is a journey of love, of understanding, of compromise with the one person that you are choosing for the rest of your life, in intimacy, in conversation, in friendship. This one person that you are deciding to be vulnerable to by choice. So, you can't choose your family, and you can't choose your parents, you can't choose your siblings, but you can choose this one person and decide that against all odds and against what I have seen perhaps in my family of there not being good marriages, seen in my community of maybe there not being good marriages, I choose to go into a life of service and compromise with this one person and hope for the best. That is the idea that we have, that especially in Christ, in Jesus, if you allow Jesus to be that third chord, the third man in your marriage, it works. It's beautiful. It's successful. And that's simply our vision and our assignment.
So Pastor Mike, she's talking about having the third chord, the most important, God in your marriage. How has that held you two together? As a couple, raising 6 boys, and I never forget your 6 boys. How has Christ been at the center of it all?
So when I was growing up, my mum and dad, I would say, had a lovely marriage, a beautiful marriage. But one thing that used to disturb me about their marriage was that they were of different religions. And it did become a place of conflict in the home concerning...
What was Mum's faith?
Mum was a Christian, but
And
she
Dad?
became a Christian after she got married.
Okay, and Dad?
And my father was a Muslim
Okay.
before marriage and during marriage. They're still married today,
Okay.
and they've made it work, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
But one thing I struggled with personally was that I wanted to improve on their marriage. And the way I wanted to improve on it was I wanted my marriage to be us serving the same God. So when I got that, to me, I'd won in life. Because I already had seen a healthy marriage. But now to me, if we're both serving the same God, we can get through anything and everything. So, you don't have to do your marriage exactly like ours, but if you can see something positive and implement it into yours, then my mission's accomplished.
Mission is
So
accomplished.
yeah.
Let me ask, Pastor Villa, what was like your biggest misconception about marriage before you got in like a shocker? You're like, hey, this thing, I didn't know.
So my biggest misconception about marriage was that women are oppressed in marriage.
Where did
Women,
that come from?
I'll try and keep it brief. So I'm a PK, a preacher's kid, and I was a quiet child, so I would, sort of meander around while the ladies would come for counseling, and I'd be in and out as some of the older women would share their experiences of marriage. And I believe it was the devil's intention for the negativity of marriage to remain in my mind. And so by the time I was 9 years old, I decided within myself, I'm never getting married. Because I would see the ladies come in with bruises. I would see the ladies come in and talk about financial difficulties, financial abuse, psychological abuse, the manipulations in marriage, and seeing them be the sole, in my view, the sole caregivers for their
Providers.
children. And women, as I grew, I've been able to understand that women are just more emotional. But I would look at it as when the women would come to church, they cried more and they were more emotional in their spiritual journey. And I translated that as they must be going through really bad marriages. And so my biggest misconception was marriage is oppression of the woman and does not give her financial freedom, does not give her, she doesn't have her own autonomy. You're just going to get married and this guy is going to pregnate you every 1 to 2 years. Literally, and you will be oppressed. You won't have a voice of your own. You won't have a mind of your own. And even if you take it to church and you take it to God, it's going to be, give it to God. Everything will be all right. Keep
As
praying about
well.
it. And that was the vision I had. And I thought to myself, that's not what I want. I don't see the beauty in that. I don't see the importance. I don't understand that. And then my parents had a turbulent relationship. So that solidified everything for me. And then I got married and came in with guards and shields. So I married Michael because he was the most fantastic man I'd ever come across in my choices of wanting to date or have a relationship partner. But I still had all these shields up of literally make the slightest mistake and you will feel my wrath. It's always been that way. But as time went on, and because he's such a serving person, and he would always put me first, and I would always be the one to begin the arguments and be the reason why something has gone wrong and be the reason why our finances have tanked and being the I'm always the catalyst for something negative happening. But he would always meet me with love and understanding and look for ways to compromise with me, the negativity perpetrator, and work things out and always put me first.
Wow.
And I could not understand that. I was looking for a fight always, and he would not fight me back.
Meet you with love.
Yes, he always met me with love and would be like, where we've gotten to in the argument, let's just pray. So we would not talk to each other, but we would consistently pray. It would either be hourly prayer or third hourly prayer or dawn prayer, but he would just be like, let's just leave it to God and God will solve everything. And then he would shower me with gifts and come and hold my hand and be like, I'm not against you. I don't want us to fight. I just don't approve of how you do this or that. And it's not going to help us in the long run. And I'm not afraid to say I was very myopic in my view of marriage at those times, but I've come to learn that a woman actually in marriage is the greatest beneficiary. If your husband wants and decides to live his life like Christ and sacrifice himself as Christ sacrificed himself for the church, then you become the biggest beneficiary. And this is so important to me because I was talking to our sons last night. And he was saying we are too lovey-dovey and we are too mushy with each other and they're sick of it in the house. But
It's cringe, isn't
he
it?
said it's cringe.
It's
That's
cringe.
the language
We're
he used.
cringe.
He said, you guys are cringe. And I said to him, but no, what he said that I could appreciate was he said, but I feel when I get older, I will understand what it is that you and dad have. And we were watching a pastor talk about marriage because we still glean information and we still try and learn and we still encourage ourselves with other people's marriages. So we were watching another pastor talk about marriage and premarital intimacy and the pitfalls of it. And out in the open, so our boys were listening. And the preacher asked at a point, if you're going into marriage, can you see that you can be a provider? Can you be a lover? And my son said, yes. And I said to him, really? He said, yes, he feels that he can be a lover. And I was like, so where are you getting the idea from? And he was stuck. And I said to him, take your idea of love from your father, because your father loves me in ways that you do not know and you do not see. And I use that as an opportunity to break down how I'm loved mentally, how I'm loved physically from what they can see. I further let them know how I'm loved financially, how every provision for me is made. I let them know things like all of Michael's finances are channeled into my account. The boys don't know that. I have full financial freedom in our marriage. And I'm just respectful not to overspend and, abuse it. But these are things that our boys didn't know. And I said to them, your father has literally laid down his life by coming to Ghana, by staying with me when I was always being the biggest devil in our marriage, by being by my side when there were the days when I clearly could not understand my own relationship with God, and that would take a toll on our relationship because I would begin to backslide, and he would have to literally row both paddles of our marital boat and of our family boat and of our relationship with God boat. He would have to be that person keeping everything afloat. And I was telling our sons that now that they're older, 18 and 16, I said to them, this is where you get your idea of love from your father. And I can tell you that in confidence, because your father has laid his life down for me, and I am loved and I benefit from marriage, and I love being his wife. And
I think it's so powerful to hear a mother being able to tell their sons this, that your father loves me in this way, that way.
Yes.
I feel you're building something so powerful in your children. And I want to get to Pastor Mike. I mean, how have you had the strength over the years? I mean, when she comes with her wrath, when she would come with her wrath, and you're facing her with love, and you're holding her, you're supporting her. Where did that all come from? How have you done it?
So what I would say as well, for everyone that doesn't know, we did get married very young. So I was 21 and Mama Gio, Pastor Joella, was 19.
With a lot of wrath.
So you're still actually learning yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't fully know who I was, and I really didn't fully know who Joella was. But what I did know was that God told me she would make me a good wife before we got married. It was just one sentence, but even today I've got it written on my wall.
You do.
Because there were many a days that was questionable. It wasn't a reality. But I just held on to it, that why would God say this to me? Why would that be the still small voice sentence that I received? And it's because I needed it. It's because it was true. But it took development. And it also took development on my side as well. I've had to develop as a man. There's a lot of things I did not understand. I didn't understand so much about emotional connection. I didn't so much understand about if I'm going to work, I saw it like I'm saving the day. When I get home, it's like I'm Superman and I don't need to do anything. But then maybe Joella's been standing all day, she's tired, she's changing nappies, and I'll put my feet up and sleep. That's not the best way to end the day as a couple. So I've had to mature a lot, grow a lot. And even though Joella did have these times where she was angry, she was annoyed, she didn't want to be married, she would still make nice food for me. She would still be intimate with me. She would still be a joy giver somehow. I mean, she has gifts, and she still poured those gifts into our home, even when she was angry or annoyed. So that has held our marriage.
Wow.
It wasn't just me. It was both of us together.
Both of you together.
Yeah.
This is the Couple Next Door conversation on Love Unscripted, right on Sunny 88.7 FM. This is when we're hanging out with Pastor Mike, Pastor Joella on the Couple Next Door. And I'm curious to know if there's one conversation they have had or they had that has totally changed the course of their marriage. How many years ago was it, if you can share with us? That conversation. All right, Pastor Mike is going to take this one.
So what I would say is that there's been quite a few because we've been married for so long. But the type of conversation that I appreciate that changes our trajectory, that changes our outlook for marriage, is when it's something extremely truthful that has been in darkness, that could be good or could be bad, but it's an exposure of a thought process that could have been negative. It's something that we've learned about ourselves that we can now say, I've had this mindset, I've realized it's unhealthy, but I want to share it with you. This is how it operates. It could be that I'm feeling overly emotional and I want to expose how my emotions are disturbing me in this moment. It's not you, it's me. So I would say it's having those truthful conversations that we don't come up against each other with accusation, but it's a revelation, and now let's work on it, let's heal from it, and let's move on. I appreciate conversations that we have that no one else has. So it's information you've shared with me that I know no one else knows, even if it's not good.
Okay.
I value it. I don't want to use it against you, but I want to know, okay, so what are we going to do now? Where do we take it
What's
from
the way
here?
forward?
Yeah. So
Pastor
that's
Joella, you
my
have
side.
one you want to share with us?
Yeah, the conversations that really help us along the way have been, on my part, the ones.
Pastor Joella, get it closer to your microphone. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the ones where we are able to, like you're saying, be accountable for whatever it is that we are going through in the moment. And that was something that I used to find very difficult, to take accountability for my actions or for my thought process or for why I've come to whatever conclusion I've come to. And I brought a lot of baggage from being raised with my siblings into marriage. So I really thought of Michael like a sibling, in that you make the mistake of telling a sibling something and they run straight. I'm going to tell mom, I'm going to tell dad, and you get into trouble for it. And I always thought there's that getting into trouble aspect with my spouse. But I got to realize, no, this person wants to work alongside you, not against you. It took me time to get there. But now I'm better at saying we need to talk.
Okay.
Because I know that however the conversation works out, even if we are not able to resolve, and I don't understand where he's coming from and he doesn't understand where I'm coming from, we're able to put the conversation aside, the issue aside, and then we continue in love and care for one another. We don't hold the fact that we've had a misunderstanding in this conversation against one another. At this moment, our minds are not merging, and that's okay. We'll just come back another time and try again. But we don't pin the issue to one another. And those are the sorts of conversations that help us move forward.
Your dial is on Sunny 88.7 FM, the couple next door. And I want to hear from them, Pastor Mike, Pastor Joella, what they would say has been the hardest season of their marriage as a couple, and want to know how they made their way through. Who's going to take this?
So
Okay.
I would say for me, the hardest season is when we have to have, or we have had, the conversation of, okay, then let's go our separate ways. It's not a conversation I like having, but it's happened a few times that, okay, it's not working, let's co-parent. And to me, I always just want to work out, well, how do we resolve this? And in the past, my wife will be like, no, there's nothing we can do to redeem it.
This one, dear, is finished.
Yeah, it's more than over. It's too much now. So those would be the hardest ones, and we would call that an emergency crisis, crisis conversation. You're going through a season of crisis. It happens in every marriage.
Yeah.
We've been through many. You get better every time when you pass through a crisis. So yeah, the fear for me, it would be the fear of crisis, and then you start to think of the worst possible outcome. And when that does happen, that's when I'll go into prayer, I'll go into fasting, I'll go into analyzing what have I done wrong, what are we doing to misunderstand each other. And if we have to take it to our senior pastor and say there's something that we're not able to resolve, then we would.
Okay.
But by the grace of God, we're beyond those
You've not had to
talks.
get
But I'm just sharing it with
to
other
that,
people
yeah,
that
yeah.
it has happened in the past. Yeah.
So Pastor Joel, when you say, no, this thing is not working, it's finished, like you would really mean it at those times.
Yes, I would mean it, and I always had my contingency plan in place. And what I mean by that is I would always have a ticket back to the UK in place. Always. I would always renew a ticket back to the UK until God dealt with me one day.
For how many years did you do this? Renew your ticket?
Oh, I did it maybe for about 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that for about 13 years. I would always have a ticket back, and I would use them sometimes as well. Like the moment we'd have a falling out, I'd be like, I need space. I don't want to see you.
You're on a flight.
Yeah, and I'd leave. And I began to pray and say to the Lord, I don't like this cycle. There is a cycle here. There is a pattern. And I'm coming before you to help me find out what Michael is doing to keep this pattern going, literally. And that's why God told me, you're the problem. You keep this ticket as your strategy for not having to have the conversations, not having to deal with the issues. You go away for a while, and it's nothing but, the straightforward bare necessity sort of text messages that go back and forth between you and your husband for a while. Then it turns to, I want to see you, I want to see you. And then by the time I come back, the issue actually hasn't been dealt with. And, the fondness of the absence occurs, and then whatever it is squashed. And it's never dealt with. So that now becomes another step that you can stand on for the next conflict, and the next conflict, and the next conflict. So every next conflict is bigger because there's all this unresolved
ones,
issues in the past. And God said to me, you are really entertaining the spirit of anti-marriage. You are not entertaining the true bond of marriage that I have set for you. And if you want me to set you free from this thing, you have to let this ticket to the UK burn. Wow. No more renewing this ticket.
Or contingency.
No more contingency plan.
Backup plans.
No more backup plans. You're going to have to let this ticket burn, and I will help you through this season. And I was finding it so difficult. So the ticket was to be renewed somewhere in April of that year, I remember. And if there's one thing I don't like is to say something to someone to encourage them, and I'm not being active in that area. So I remember I said it in our youth meeting that as we're praying about different topics, the topic that I am praying about and I'm about to take a step on is that I'm about to burn my backup ticket that I always use to go to the UK. And God willing, by next week, I would not have renewed my ticket, and I'll come and let you guys know that I've let it burn, because that is what God has put before me as a step to also wanting to propagate the healing in my marriage. So I would literally open up the British Airways app and watch the days count down.
So Mike, would you see her do this?
I wouldn't see her doing the countdown and do such thing, but I did know she had her own ticket. I mean, I didn't buy the ticket; it was her own ticket, and it was something that she would do from time to time. But this is going way back in our marriage.
Yeah, pretty early.
And I could understand it as well, because she was raised there as well. She had family
home
there.
for her.
At times, her mum was there.
Yeah.
And like she's saying, when she did come back, we would be in a better place for a time. But then those old issues would still
unresolved.
creep in. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to let this ticket burn and face the reality of, you have to deal with your problems. That doesn't mean that I couldn't have bought another one, but actually just acting in obedience to God's word and letting that ticket expire changed something in me. I believe it was God also just showing me that you are ready to come to another step of maturity in this journey of marriage and work with your husband. And, true to what would happen, we did have an argument, but this time around, it was a lot more of me on my part going back to God and saying, you have wanted me to trust you with my escape plan. And I don't have an escape plan. So I'm coming back to you. I can't deal with this. I don't know how to think about that. I don't know how to put this into words. This is making me overly emotional. Do I really want to expose that? This is how my mind works. Do I tell him? Do I not tell him? And working through it. And I now appreciate not having an escape plan.
Because now you had to see the problem that was ahead of you and ask the Lord for help. Now you have to start doing the work towards the marriage. This one says, I love the sincerity in the conversation. the conflicts are not necessarily disadvantages in relationships, but rather an avenue to be more intimate with our partners and more dependent on God's grace. I've always loved them and do even more deeply now. God bless you greatly. Says very often God takes away every wing that makes us feel God has to be placed second in our priority list so that we can totally believe Him for the journey He started with us. And that is coming from Jonas. He asked me for your fly. Immediately I shared on my status. Jonas, thank you for sharing this. And I've been checking you out a lot, like I've been saying on Instagram, and I see people are grabbing some coffee. And then what do you do to keep like the friendship, the fun alive in your marriage for those who haven't seen what's going on Instagram?
Yeah,
Share with us.
We've got a theme running at the moment that's called date night, and with 6 boys, we need a date night.
You do.
And we've made it intentional. So yeah, of late we go on a date night once a week.
Okay.
It's not about spending a lot of money. It's about spending quality time together. And we just decided to make a video of it just to encourage others. Someone may have not gone on a date night for a while. You may watch that video and think to yourself, me and hubby, let's go on one. It might help. So it's a time for us to get dressed, go out, a new environment. Let's laugh, let's joke, let's smile, let's admire each other. And I mean, going on a date is such a nice thing before you get married. It should also be equally as nice when you're married.
Yeah, we seem to kind of forget that part sometimes when we get into the marriage, I guess because of the responsibilities and all.
Yeah, there's so much responsibilities, but you've got to be intentional with still seeing your partner as your boyfriend and as your girlfriend, because why should people that are not married be smiling more than those that are? And why should we be looking at unmarried and think, oh, they're really in love?
Having a good
when
time.
we have Christ and we've married the person we chose to, let's put aside the hard things that are going on, the pressures of life, and let's love on each other. And that's what the date night videos are about, and we give advice about them. I love them. I think.
Pastor Joella, what do you love about your date nights? who brought up the idea first?
Oh, Michael did. So
Michael, okay. He's the romantic one, of course,
he's
yeah.
The romantic one, but it's also the head of all content creation in our home.
I would have never guessed. I would think
Really?
it would be you.
No.
Yeah,
So,
I guessed.
I remember somebody asked once on social media, how do you get him to do all these dance videos? And I'm like, he gets me to do the dance
This is
videos.
breaking news for me.
Yes,
And
it
my
is.
assumption is you getting him
It's not
to
me at
dress
all.
up and
No,
snap
no.
and do all that.
You know, let me just add.
Uh-huh.
I was a creative before I met Christ, so I was studying fashion at a really high level, like I've got a degree in it. And I used to say to the Lord that why did I waste all this time studying?
Fashion.
And I mean, I got a first class honours. I was given a scholarship for a master's in London. That was for fashion. I studied ladies fashion, I've done men's fashion, I've done catwalks, and when I met Christ, the Lord was like, move away from that world. And He told me, you know, there's things that go on in the fashion world. I'm not talking about Ghana, but I'm talking about in Europe, in America, that can be highly demonic. And He moved me out of it. And it went on for years. And I kept saying to my wife that, what a waste of my life. I've wasted 5 years of my life. I've got a paper on the wall that is useless. And then one day I realized it just started flowing in social media, and I see things colorful, how I used to when I was designing. So I sometimes I'll get off the bed and I'm like, we're going to do this dance.
We're going to wear this outfit.
We're going to wear this
He'll be like,
outfit.
it has to be African
It
wear
has to be
with
this.
trainers.
Okay.
And then he'll be like, wear a cap or wear a scarf. And
Okay.
I'm like, okay. And then I go along with it.
Yeah, so just when we were coming yesterday, Joella was like, what are we wearing? And I was like, we're going African.
Okay.
And she's like, why? And I'm like, we haven't worn African for a while. And I'm like, exactly. So, I mean, it sounds strange, but now I feel like I'm able to put my
Express
gift
yourself
into a
through fashion.
godly avenue. And other people look at it. You don't have to match us like how we do.
Yeah.
But at least on your anniversary, dress beautifully. You know, find a date night and dress nicely, match each other. It's a beautiful thing. Go and do a family photo together and wear matching colors. And it's a beautiful thing that you can incorporate into your relationship.
And there's no way anybody would mistake that the person you're standing next to is not your wife. Like, you don't need to
Yeah,
say, they just
exactly.
know that. This is this man's
Yes.
woman, this is
100%.
woman's man. That's
Yeah.
it, case closed. Pastor Joel, we're just about wrapping up, but what do you particularly love about your date nights?
What I love about our date nights is the fact that they started way before you are seeing what you see on
online.
social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
They started in our home, in our bedroom, with Uno cards and Jenga, and we don't really enjoy playing Ludo like that, but
No.
we would play Monopoly
Yeah.
and other games, and it started just between us. So when our kids were very little and family wouldn't be in Ghana, we'd have to put the kids to bed and then spend the time, now watch a movie, and he would maybe order the takeout, I would get the snacks, and we'd
Okay.
decide on a movie, and
But
then
even before that, date night was like, we're gonna go and get fried yam and fish at the roadside.
yes,
We'd
started
literally
in Mallet.
walk some
Okay.
15 minutes. We were in
Okay.
Mallam when we first came to Ghana,
Okay.
a very flood-prone area.
Yeah.
And it was such a rough road, but we'd quietly hold hands, we'd walk through this rough road, we'd go and buy our
Friday.
Friday yam
fried yam and fish,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then fan yogos.
Yeah,
They were like 50
Fine
peso
yoga for you
at that time.
and fan pop for me.
Yeah, so we started it basic, but that
Yeah.
was how our foundation of date night was. Yeah.
The young men here are praying to have a marriage like this, even more beautiful. Good morning to Eugene, our single young man in the studio. He's representing all the others. On second thoughts, all the men here are single. My young men here, Jasper, Bless, Eugene. I mean, this series is definitely going to bless you all. You're going to
Yes,
choose
it will.
well and marry well in
Amen,
Jesus' name. I'm going
amen.
to give you
Amen,
both 60
amen.
seconds each. After everything you've experienced, I mean, what's one thing you would share, Pastor Michael, with a man who's preparing to marry? Then I'll do
A man
Pastor
that's
Joella.
preparing to marry, please don't go into marriage with your guy friends being more important than your wife. Make your person your priority so that she is your best friend. And if you have a lady friend that's your best friend and you're going to get married, you need to move away from that relationship. Don't have backup lady A, B, C, and D when you're going into marriage. Delete them,
EFGC.
remove them, and make sure your wife is your 100% priority.
Wow. I think we're going to cut that and then we'll play many times before the end of August.
It's important.
Pastor Joella.
For the ladies, I would say heal. Heal from any misconceptions you have. Heal from the ideas that have been projected onto you. Heal from the pressure of having to meet other people's expectations. And really do the spiritual work within yourself. Because a woman was meant to be covered and have that protection of just one man. Unfortunately, we are in a day and age where we are very promiscuous before marriage, and we don't seem to understand how badly it fragments the female mind when you're going into marriage. From the work that I do as a counselor on social media, what you get to find is that when you have been promiscuous before marriage, as a lady, you keep comparing your spouse to everybody else that you have been with. I wish I was with this person because he was taller, this person because he spoke this way, and that person. It should have just been the one. And I really encourage ladies, go through the healing. Do not let a well-meaning man that wants to go on that journey of life with you have to suffer all the emotional, spiritual, psychological baggage that you have taken upon yourself. Heal. If you didn't see good marriages in your family, speak about it. Go through the spiritual work. Go through the psychological work. Have the conversations and go into marriage ready and willing to serve and be served. Be able to receive that service from your husband.
Get ready to serve and be served. You two are simply amazing. Simply amazing.
Thank you.
People, remember that Couples Retreat is on, and it's sometimes just a change of environment is what you need to have. Start having certain conversations that you need to have. And Couples Retreat is presenting you that opportunity 27th to 30th of August this year at the Aqua Safari. It's 9,999 Ghana cedis per couple. Theme this year: strengthening friendship, deepening intimacy, honoring commitment. You can visit our website to register. sunnygh.com. How can we find you on our socials so our listeners can follow and be blessed more by the content the Lord is giving you to share? Your
So
handles.
wherever that they would type Mommy Gio or Daddy Gio
Okay.
or Michael and Joella, we will come up.
You will come up.
Yes.
You will come up with all the color. All the color, they will come up. Thank you to our partners, South African Airways, Aqua Safari Resort, 1981 Clothing, Everything Bags by H&B, and Kinner Hotel. Someone says, oh, okay, this is for me. All right. Thank you all. Keep listening to Sunny 88.7 FM. So I chose a song for you both from
thank
BB
you.
Winer's I Found Love.
Oh, we love
Oh,
BBOTT.
I'm in the spirit. You know, I was up to like 12
our
midnight,
best
you know.
ones, yes.
All this for you. Enjoy, enjoy.
Yo, thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, so I was like, which song was good for them? You know?